This video isn't about language teaching, it's more about interpersonal relationships. But I hope you find it helpful anyway. So, it was the end of a long meeting that I've been leading. It was 10 to 4, due to finish at 4 o'clock. I looked at my watch and thought, oh good, only another 10 minutes, because I was getting tired by that time. And I came to any other business. So I said to people, any other business? And there was one woman just to my right there, and she said, well, I can't remember what she said, but she was angry. And she raised an important issue, which would take at least half an hour to talk about. And it was either my responsibility or my fault, I can't remember which. Oh, my heart sank, because I was getting tired by this time, and I had to gear up my energy and calm her down and listen to her and begin to find solutions to what she was talking about. And of course everybody else was now getting tired and they wanted to leave at the right time. Not good. Anyway, went to bed that night, of course, woke up in the middle of the night thinking about it, and I suddenly had an idea. Of course, why do we always put any other business at the end of a meeting? Why don't I put it as the first item? And so that's what I did from then on. So anytime I have a meeting, it's any other business first. So if somebody is coming with anger or coming with a serious problem that I don't know about, we can deal with it straight away. So my two thoughts for you is, first, if you're a manager, it's really worth setting aside that time at the beginning of the meeting, before you're tired, and to include everybody so that they can share the difficulties they're having. If you're not a manager, but you've got problems with your manager, it would be really good if you actually think about how you're going to talk to him or her. And I really would have valued if she'd have just taken me aside, a couple of minutes before the meeting had started and said, look, I've got this problem, can we talk about it? Or if she'd emailed me. Then of course, if she had done that, I wouldn't have had my idea of having any other business first. But I want to tell you the final aftermath of that, because that became a regular feature of our meetings. We met once a month, about a dozen of us, and these were all coordinators of English language teaching across 12 schools that I was responsible for. And every week people brought issues up at the beginning of the meeting, and we all had time to think about them and talk about them. Well, one day we all got together and I said, any other business, and one person immediately jumped in and said, can I share something? and she shared some really serious difficulties she had been having in her school. And as soon as she finished, somebody else jumped in and said, I'm having a similar problem, and told us her story, and then another guy joined in, and all of a sudden everybody was sharing big serious issues they were having with their school. I said nothing. This went on for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. My role became pointing to somebody and say, you next, you next, you next. And that's all I did. I was like a conductor of an orchestra, and everybody was sharing their concerns, their worries, their distress, their problems. And I say, but 40 minutes this went on. At the end of 40 minutes, there was this sudden silence that everybody had spoken, and everyone went aside. And then somebody said, what's just happened? Which is interesting, because I'll tell you what had just happened. That everybody had had chance to share the things that were really important to them. Everybody had been listened to. Nobody had been interrupted. Nobody had been told they were wrong. Nobody had even been told any solutions to any of the issues. They had just been listened to. And of course, when you're listened to, you feel cared for. So we had actually done an amazing thing that meeting, that everybody felt they were in the same boat, everybody felt listened to, everybody felt cared about. So I highly recommend two things. First, putting any other business at the beginning of a meeting. But the second thing is listening in silence to what other people have got to say, because it's incredibly powerful.